Hey guys, welcome back to another live yard sale video game finds. This was an awesome yard sale I stumbled upon last weekend. It happened to be actually a divorce yard sale. She was getting rid of her husband's items. He seemed to be like an eBayer, things like that. She said he did a lot of online sales. All these games, but actually, I'm sorry, 95% of these games were factory sealed, and it was awesome. They were the Xbox 360 games were between $2 and $5. Some of the Xbox 360 collector's editions were $10, and I decided to pick some of those up. And then there was also some PS2, PS3 that were factory sealed. PS2 weren't factory sealed, they were just used. I think this guy did a lot of collecting too as well, and I think he's going to be pretty mad when she sells his stuff here, if he ever found out. She said he didn't want it, but I mean, this is like someone's collection here, and I think he did a lot of reselling too. So I was picking out a lot of the Xbox 360 games for between $2 and $5. I'm going to trade a lot of these into GameStop here. Some of them I'm going to keep for my collection. I'm starting to do like an Xbox 360 collection. Not official, but I am going to try to pick up some here and there since I'm getting them at the flea market and everything. I didn't pick up too many PS3 games here because there wasn't really any of value, and I don't really collect for PS3. So, I mean, a lot of these $5 ones like Metro and things like that, I had those on Xbox One. I don't need to pick that up, so I wasn't into picking those up. Actually, the biggest pickup I got here was Game Boy Advanced. I got a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced games in the box, and a Game Boy Advanced SP in the box, which I just picked up one of these Game Boy Advanced SPs this past weekend at the flea market. So it was crazy for me to find two in like the span of a week. So it was crazy to think that I could find these two box Game Boy SPs in my area, because I don't really find those things in my area. She had a lot of these DS games that were kids games, like Finding Nemo and like Disney. She had like $10 on them sealed. I mean, if you're doing that for yourself, that's fine. But like Duck Dynasty, I didn't pick any of that stuff up. That stuff doesn't really sell, and I don't collect that stuff. So I did pick up a lot of these Game Boy Advance games. I didn't get it on footage, sadly, because it's very hard sometimes to record. I actually had my girlfriend, she came along to this yard sale with me. She was holding on my items before anybody got here. It was about 15 minutes I had to pick before anybody got here and started picking with me. So it was myself just picking through all the items, and then when they started to show up, I started to just start powering up and make a little box and make sure I got everything I wanted. I did pick up, like I said, a lot of Game Boy Advance for $2 and $3 a piece. Here's the recap video I got back at my house. I ended up, here's the Game Boy Advance SP I had picked up. I kept this one for myself. I sold the other one that I had got this past weekend. I paid $15 for the Game Boy Advance SP, and I paid $15 for this Game Boy Color, which was like a Kmart exclusive with Super Mario Deluxe, which that was a pretty good deal too. I mean, $15 for a boxed games. Actually, at the time of the yard sale, she said she didn't know what she wanted for these. She was going to look them up, and that's always dangerous whenever somebody says they're going to start looking something up, because then you're like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, how about $15 a piece? And I'm like, sold. Let's do it. For box games, let's do it. Sounds good to me. Or box consoles. And a lot of the instructions here I end up having to put. Actually, I got a lot of the instructions of the games I didn't get to. I kind of feel bad if someone's going to be collecting those, but I never got a call back from Leah. I told her I'd give her like a decent amount of money for the rest of the stuff if she had anything left over. I never got the call back. But here we go. Here's the Game Boy Advance games. Got Dr. Mario. I paid between like $2 and $3 for these Game Boy Advance games. There's only a couple of the Game Boy Advance games still sealed. I got a lot of Crash Bandicoots. I never heard of this tie game before. I got a lot of Crash and a lot of Spyro games. I think these came out of that guy's personal collection. Only a couple Pokemon games, one Mario Game Boy Advance game. Nothing crazy rare, but pretty cool to find this, at least in my area, find this kind of stuff at a yard sale, because the yard sale started on a Friday, but she let us come early on a Thursday, so that's why I wanted to get there as soon as possible before anybody showed up, because I knew other people were going to be coming. There's some more Crash games, Crash Purple. Paid $3 for that one. Another Crash game, 3. Like I said, $2 and $3 a piece for the Game Boy Advance games. I paid $2 to $5 a piece for the Xbox 360s. That Crash Bandicoot and Spyro game is actually sealed, and I think that one was a little more rare to find sealed. Actually, anything rare sealed is nice, you know. These Pokemon games are pretty good. Game Boy Color, that was the only Game Boy Color Pokemon game I found for $2. You can't pass that up. This Fantastic Four game here, I wanted to get that real quick because I thought it was Final Fantasy. I was too excited whenever I was there picking stuff out. The Pac-Man game was another game that was sealed. And that Mario Kart Super Circuit was the only one I had gotten there that was a Mario game. This PS3 controller, at the time I picked it up for $5. I didn't know it was brand new sealed. It looked open. I got it home and inspecting it. It was brand new sealed, so $5 for a new PS3 controller. Anything to fund the collection, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the Game Boy manuals here, like the instruction booklets and things like that. So it wasn't too bad of a pickup. I had instructions there for everything. Here's a lot of the Xbox 360 games I got here. I am going to add these to my collection. I figured I'm not officially saying, okay, I'm going to collect for Xbox 360, but if I'm out, I'm going to try to pick them up. I don't have them. I'd like to get every single Xbox 360. It's one of my favorite consoles growing up, and as a teenager, I played it a lot, so I want to pick up and try to collect for it. The Ghostbuster game was open. I am going to trade some of these doubles I have into GameStop as well. I'm thinking about making a GameStop video where I explain and show the roots of me going after these games for $1 and trading them in for 15 and 20. I'd like to show like the outcome of what I get there, because it's a pretty big haul of money for trade credit when I trade them in. A lot of these games I haven't seen, like the Fallout 3 and the Oblivion 3 double pack. There's the Witcher 2. That was the most I paid for a game there. It was $10. The Sega Genesis collection, which I just picked a Sega Genesis collecting up on Xbox One. This is really good. If you guys haven't tried it and you got an Xbox One, I'd pick that up. There's a Red Faction. There's a couple Resident Evil games there, like Best Buy exclusives. I think this guy maybe got this stuff at Best Buy. I don't know. I should have asked a few more questions there. Yeah, things without the original case I'm not going to keep. I'm going to trade them in, like that Namco Museum game there. Yeah, a lot of good games. I mean, like I said, when you go and you pick stuff out like this, you got to try to hurry and you got to try to stack it up. So some things could have been a hit or a miss, but I think a lot of this stuff I got here was pretty good. Like a lot of the games were $2, and how can you pass up a $2 game, especially for your collection? Yeah, right there, guys. That's about it. I appreciate you guys watching and always subscribing to me and watching me on my travels. So continue to watch and subscribe, and I'll keep putting out the videos as best I can. I got a lot of backed up videos here because my internet was down for a week, so I got a lot of content coming out this week. So keep checking back, guys, and I'll keep putting out there if you keep watching. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Catch you later.